I just made it sharp a picture as I could. And so I took that. That became my Christmas card that year. So I've done that before. There's Coco in a field of mustard. And we would just walk along and take pictures of things. I've tried to find um, beauty in wherever I am. So walking along here, there's my little California girl in a field of poppies. And she always loved going out on these walks. You see her tongue, she was hot that day. So yeah, just I would take pictures. I didn't really concentrate on composition per se. I would try to make an image that works for me. Um, so you can see the little trunk in the foreground. Actually, that's old. I think that's old cactus. But just finding these gorgeous flowers out in the wild, growing wild. So, and please, throughout my presentation, anybody that wants to say anything or comment or ask me to go back or stop, please don't hesitate. Mm-hmm. Just I'll try to zoom in when I can. I really make an effort to try to make the pictures as sharp as I can, depending upon this is with my iPhone, so you can't blow them up too much. But just I love these flowers. This is a beautiful yucca plant that was just popping up there. And
Charlie?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Can I get you to minimize all of the faces?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you see it on your screen, but we're all popping up occasionally in your presentation there.
So on the screen, on the picture of all of us, on the left, there's a dash.
Oh, I just did something here.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Let me go back.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
Back to where no, I don't want that. Go back to where I was.
It's good.
You keep coming back.
Yeah.
I think I can't. How about that?
Yeah, that's great.
Got rid of you? Okay.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Okay, very good. There you go. So anyway, I like this image. Just like a flagpole standing straight up, and background of the sky, and a beautiful spring day here in Orange County. So we don't get too many of those. Another gorgeous little flower. I have no idea what these flowers are. My wife, when she was alive, really paid attention to the names and nomenclature, but I didn't. So I just take the pictures. She was always the one that would identify them. But we would find these flowers and just walking along with our dog. Mm-hmm. And just you'll find beauty in almost anything. Even this little clover thing has something coming out of it that just made it look interesting to me. So another I guess that's a different type of poppy, but I liked it because of the I know Doug carries a sprinkler can, but I don't. This is all natural. So yeah, so just an explosion of color. No idea what that is, but it just out in the wild. So I took those walks. This one I like because it shows the flowers growing in this dead pile of a prickly pear. And so even the succulents can be quite beautiful. I thought this was kind of neat, just growing out of the side of a hill, and with the various decaying leaves. They almost look like giraffe heads sticking out of the flower.
According to my app, that's called chalk lettuce. There's an app. You can put it in your phone. It's called Picture This, and all kinds of nature topics, and it's really handy. I love it. I go out to shoot this kind of stuff, and I'll just right then, I'll find out what it is.
Well, that's cool. I'll have to look for that. Thank you. Chalk lettuce. That makes perfect sense. It's exactly what it looks like. Even some of this I've only seen this once, and I'm glad I took a picture of it.
Oh.
It's just got like these little bells hanging off, and it's a succulent of some kind. I don't know if it's coming off that chalk lettuce plant or not. It may be. but I'm
Looks
not.
like peppermint.
It does. It does. Yeah, yeah. Like candy.
Mhm.
Thistle. I love
Yeah,
thistle.
Oh,
nice.
that's beautiful.
Mhm.
And
Great
again,
shot.
I try to make it as crisp as I can in the camera, and sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't.
Cardoon.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
good.
Cardoon was that last one.
Yeah.
Cardoon.
Oh,
Okay. Prickly pear flowers. There's several different colors that you'll see here. Um, and again, the prickly pear usually only flowers after it rains. So I would go out deliberately looking for these flowers. And they come in, there's three different colors. They're yellow, kind of oranges, and then red. It's all on the same plant. Really kind of interesting. I even like the lichen on this rock. That kind of just struck me as something worth remembering. And so I took a picture of that as well.
Mhm.
So we had to be careful out there. This bugger is probably
Ooh,
5 to 6 feet long, and uh, I used the telephoto to get close to him, and he was just happy, just cruising along.
wow.
This next one, this next one, when he realized I was there, tried to coil up, but he'd obviously eaten either a rabbit or a mouse or something, and he couldn't coil up because he had that big fat stomach. So anyway, thought that was kind of interesting. So now we're back into my garden. These are my roses. My wife was the gardener, and she's passed away. So I've tried to keep her garden going. I've planted more roses. I've tried to learn as much as I can about them. So when they're blooming, I'll go out and I'll take pictures of them as they bloom. And I hope I don't bore you with these, but I just think they're just magnificent flowers, and I love them, and they smell fantastic.
You go to the Fullerton Arboretum, they have them huge rose garden, and they're all tagged. You learn their names and everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I know they're floribunds is what I have, but I have no idea what type of rose they are, what the name is. But yeah, one of my daughter's boyfriend gave her a bouquet of flowers, and it was sitting in the living room, and the afternoon sunlight was coming in. So I thought, I'm just going to play with some of the lighting. So I started moving around this flower arrangement as the light played on it, and I got some interesting pictures. I kind of like that one with the shadows and the colors. But anyway, I have a Christmas cactus outside that looks horrible most of the year, and then it just explodes right around Christmas. So this was a couple of years ago, and it's still doing it. Just a gorgeous plant. I have one lone iris. I've always loved irises. My mother used to plant them. I have one lone iris that comes up in the front. Just a single bulb, single flower, and so a bearded iris. I like those as well.
Lovely color.
Yeah, that. Thank you. A very very nice color. That pale blue. My wife had planted these. These are weeds. I can't stand them. They grow everywhere, but when they flower, they're actually quite pretty. And so this one, I got down pretty close to this one to take a picture of this. There's a white version of it as well. This is the pink one, obviously.
It might be ground cover, really. Looks like it.
It is. It's kind of a ground cover. She put it in one of the garden beds, and it sends out runners everywhere. And I'm forever trying to get rid of it, but it is pretty when it flowers. One of my training evolutions in Texas, in Dallas, I went to a park one afternoon, tried to clear my head, and there was just this explosion of tulips. And I thought that was kind of, I've never seen a single bed of tulips all the same color, so many. It was beautiful. When I was flying out of Whidbey Island, we would come in over La Conner in the spring, and the fields of La Conner east of Whidbey Island are tulip fields, and you have to just carpet after carpet of color. I don't have any of those pictures, but anyway. in that same park was this beautiful little sculpture made out of butterflies. And I thought, well, that's kind of a neat thing to do. So I took a picture of that. I liked the way it was oriented. And getting back to my own garden, I try to pay attention to this is a Western swallowtail. Not in perfect focus because it was windy and he was mooing, but I don't see very many of them. I see monarchs much more often because I actually grow milkweed for monarchs, but that little bugger there's one of my monarch buddies and eating the milkweed. I like this one because, the flowers, the milkweed flowers at the top are a different color. Usually they're mostly red and yellow, but this is all yellow. Unfortunately, that plant has died. I'm going to have to get a new one. Just going to town. And if you're lucky, you can find one that's pupated. And I just am always amazed at the gold on the pupa that. And then as they, if the spiders don't get them, and I've got to figure out how to prevent the spiders from killing them. It's very difficult. But if the spiders don't get them, then they mature, and you can see the wings inside this pupa, same pupa that I just showed you before. And I actually caught that one emerging, or a different one emerging.
Wow.
And it's amazing. Their wings are useless for about the first couple of hours. They're very vulnerable. They'll fall down to the ground. They'll walk around, but their wings have to get hard before they can actually fly away. There's a couple of them that have recently emerged, going back after the milkweed. You can see how the wings are so. They're almost like a cape. He can't use them yet. I was on an airplane once sitting next to a guy going into Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we started chatting with each other, and I found out that he actually is part of a project that tags monarch butterflies somehow, and then they see where the tags show up. So he was tagging monarch butterflies in South Dakota, and then they were finding them in Mexico, that place down in Mexico where they migrate to. It's just an incredible. I can't imagine putting a little tag on that bugger and still allow him to fly.
Mhm.
But not all the creatures in the garden are beautiful.
Good detail.
Yeah, I try to do that. I wanted to get all the spines, his antenna, and anyway,
A
these are
gardener's
bush
friend
lilies.
there.
Say again?
A gardener's friend.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
praying
absolutely,
mantis.
absolutely, yeah,
Mantis.
absolutely, yeah. These are bush lilies. I have two flavors, orange and yellow, and they look pretty nice, but they don't last very long. A couple of weeks, and then they go dormant again till next spring. I should have them up here pretty soon. A nice brighter orange bouquet. Back to my roses. This is my wife was very proud of this rose, and so every time it blooms, I try to take a picture of it in memory of her. I actually used one of these flowers, this particular rose. I used it for another Christmas card one year. That's kind of nice.
Yes. Looks like a peace rose.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's all natural water. That's either dew or shortly after evening rainfall. So I don't add anything to my pictures. I try to just do what's there, and I just love them. I just love all the intricacies and the details. The earliest memory I have of my mother is planting pansies in our front yard when I was 2 years old. So whenever I see pansies, I have to take their picture, and I just love their little faces, and it's like they're looking at you. And I call this my choir. They're all singing something. I just can't hear it. So And also remembering my mother, the last time I was in Connecticut at her house, it was actually to clean it out because both my parents had passed away. She had planted crocuses and one was popping up. So I had to take its picture through the leaf litter. So
Early spring.
yeah. It's amazing to see these things pop up through snow.
Yeah, I think they're the first ones. I live back there and first ones to pop. The sun.
Yeah. So another one of my wife's roses as it's starting to fade a little bit. Just more beautiful flowers. I have been toying with the idea of communicating with a greeting card company and see if any of my flowers could be sold for greeting cards or things like that. But I haven't got off top dead center on that one yet. This was in Maui. Used to fly to all the islands when I was still flying, and walking by a pond one day, and I love water lilies because I always want to look for frogs, but I never see any. But I did manage to get this one very close. And what excited me about this particular flower was the center part of it almost looks like it's illuminated from inside. It's just interesting. This is in Montana, walking along on the sidewalk. There's huge dandelion. So after I took its picture, I had to blow it. So spread the seeds. But again, I wanted to make sure I could get all the detail. This actually came out pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Wow.
Thank you. I have no idea what this is. Maybe
That's beautiful.
Plant Snap could tell us, but this is actually in Huntington Beach at the Bella Terra mall there. I just was walking by a planter and this was in it. I was like, holy cow, what is that? So I took its picture.
Yeah, so plants like that, I think they call them pin cushions.
Pin cushions, yeah, that would
popular.
fit. Yeah, that would fit. So this is up in Cambria last fall. My Corvette club went up there. We spent a weekend in Cambria, and we were right on the coast. And there was this beautiful walkway that you could walk along the coast on this elevated walkway, and you see all the succulents just growing up there. And one of them started to flower, so I took its picture. And you'll see all this, yards and yards, square yards of dead grass, and then there's these gorgeous little flowers just poking their way up. Beauty in the midst of nothingness. I tried to get that bee to land, and he wouldn't cooperate. So that's the best I could do with him. Again, this is in Cambria. Just a collection of I don't know what are these. They're I don't know what they are. Anyway, my wife would know. This is in the girl that I'm dating now belongs to several travel clubs, and she loves to travel. And she had a really smoking deal for going to Tahiti a while ago. So I thought I can do that. So we went to Tahiti together, and I've got some of these Tahitian flowers. Oh, come on. Just completely different tropical flowers. They don't look like anything that we're familiar with, or at least I'm familiar with. This is probably a type of bird of paradise. What struck me here was just the lighting, the different shades of greens and yellows, augmented by the orange of the flower. It just, it called out to me. I had to take its picture. Another flower I can't identify, but unique. This is one of my failures. I wanted the flower in the foreground to be in focus as well as the waterfall behind it to be in focus, but unbelievably, there are these huge freshwater eels in that little stream that one of them moved just as I was snapping the picture. So threw off my depth of field. But anyway, it's back to my garden now with another rose dappled with dew.
Mm. Wow.
Thank you. That's what I say.
Nice. Yeah.
When it rains or sprinkles a little bit, I'll go outside to see if I can find anything different than the normal dry images that I could take. But and I think the water droplets add a little bit and a nicer sheen on the leaves and everything. So
Mhm.
it's just I don't know what these are either, but I got a couple of them here that they're just what attracted me to this picture is the difference between the intensity of the yellows in the center of the flowers, and then how the petals range in color from the almost blood red to light pink and then white on the sides. It's just I just like the different colors. Same thing with this one. It's my wife's rose again. What's the story, Morning Glory? Walking down through the neighborhood, and there was a climbing Morning Glory vine, so I had to take his picture.
Mm. I like that. What's the story, Morning Glory?
These are hibiscus. I've got several hibiscus plants in the backyard, and this is the only one that throws an orange flower. And I just was fascinated by the level of detail I could get into it. And yeah, it's pretty neat.
I also love the shadow.
Yeah, the shadow work, and this the one that's going down on the right hand side is actually the petal on the other side of the flower that's being interrupting the sun there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same plant, different flower, pointing straight up. We've got yellow ones
Mm-hmm.
and red ones. This one looks like a trumpet player. These are not hyacinths. I'm not sure what these are. They're different. One of my daughters planted a amaryllis that comes up once in a while, not often, but once in a while it'll come up. When it had a really full flower, I got really close to see how detailed I could get into it, and I liked the fact that it was backlit a little bit also. Roses.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect rose.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very blessed,
Mm-hmm.
and I this one
Oh.
this one does not flower much, but it'll throw 2 or 3 buds, and when they bloom, they're just magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. This is my neighbor's yard up the street a little bit. I like this one because it was backlit, and I thought that was an interesting angle to take the photograph from. There's more of that rose that just doesn't throw many flowers, but when it does, they're just magnificent. that's the same flower a day or two later. Once I get one that I really like, I'll just watch it every couple of days. And here it is again, dew speckled, same flower. I think these are, actually, I'm not sure what that is. I won't even guess.
What are those little, they're called a stamen, is that it?
There's a stamen and a pistil. The
Yeah.
stamen are the male parts, pistil is the female part. And you can see on the pistil on the flower on the right is extending way down, away from
Yeah.
this. I don't know how the stamen can get their pollen in there, but maybe that's where the bees, excuse me, bees and butterflies come in.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. There's a beautiful flower place down in Carlsbad Flower Fields. If any of you ever been down there?
Sure.
Corvette Club went down there in March, and just they had an orchid area. I've never tried to grow orchids, but they're just magnificent flowers. Almost like they're trying to talk to me. This is some kind of like a sweet pea or something. It's just the tiniest little flowers, and they're just neat. I was concentrating on the rose and didn't realize there was a mosquito sitting on the lip of that petal, but he's immortalized forever now. Even when they start to fade, they still smell magnificent. And I've got I've got two tree roses flanking the entrance to my home, and when they're in bloom, it's just magnificent.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Ah, that's it.
I mean, I could look at these forever. It's a lot of work growing them, but it's very enjoyable.
Wow.
Note to self: don't take pictures of flowers after the gardener has done the mowing. We've got little grass cards everywhere, but I wasn't looking at that. So my little indoor Christmas cactus this year. I'm just amazed at how the one down in the lower center, just they droop down and then they just open up, and they don't last long, a couple of days, then they fade, but they're just gorgeous flowers. Not a great picture, but I have a jacaranda in the backyard. When it's in full bloom, the purple is just so unique. Um, they're horrible trees, though. They break up my sidewalk. They want to go into my neighbor's pool, but the tree was there before the pool, so he can't complain. More gardener detritus. This is my favorite picture of all. As I went through this, preparing this presentation to you, this is my favorite. There's something about the shape of the flower, the water, the greenery. It's just perfect. I took
You
this
don't
one.
see colors like that very often. Yeah, that's kind of unique, I think.
I don't know
Never
what I
seen-
did.
Oh.
I'm hoping I can do it again this year. So anyway, I zoomed in on this one to just if you didn't know that was a rose and just saw that picture, you might not know it was a flower, but I loved it.
Mhm.
Same thing with that one.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Getting into abstract art now.
I know that's kind of what I was thinking, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I like that. And
Yeah.
that's it. That's my presentation, everyone. Thank you for sharing, allowing me to share it. And
Nice.
took a while to get there.
Wow,
But,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Very nice.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I got. So
Okay. Yeah, we appreciate your sharing. And yeah, if other people have presentations that they would like to make, just send an email to me or to Linda or text, and we'll put you on the schedule. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be talking about mirrorless cameras. We're going to continue that. We have a video that's going to give us a different viewpoint, and then we'll discuss from there. Okay. Oh, we need to.
Can you send out the link for the video that you're going to be sharing? On the mirrorless?
Yeah, we can do that.
Would you please?
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to stop the recording.
We can also post the link on Facebook too.
Yeah, we can